2 years ago, I was struggling in my life, in my relationship, and I went down to the beach to pray because I didn't know what else to do. I asked for guidance for how to build a life I wanted to live, and I found incredible clarity that night. I found a framework, 7 commitments really, to build a life and a kingdom that you'll love as a man. The first key is I am connected to God. Now, I know God is a very triggering subject, so before you click away, let me just say this. I didn't grow up religious, and I still don't identify with one religion, although I study many, and I am connected to Jesus. I think there are 3 main ways people generally find connection with God: through church or religion, through indigenous traditions and ceremonies, and through their own personal experience. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And I think all of them are worth exploring. One of the reasons this is so important for us as men is that God represents the divine within us, the deepest fatherly love, the deepest awareness and presence. And when we learn how to receive that from the universe, we can learn how to give that same love in our lives. And that brings incredible power. You need to understand that one of the universal laws of creation is polarity. This is the yin and yang, the masculine and feminine. And to create anything in the world, we need both the seed and the egg. If you study ancient texts or learn from indigenous teachers, you're going to hear the same thing. We are 100% masculine and 100% feminine. And as a man who plays a masculine role in the world, God is my example as the masculine for how to express that part of my spirit. So make time to connect with God, connect to life. You have to prioritize your spirituality, and I invite you to learn to pray. The most important prayer is thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, Creator. Thank you, Great Spirit. Thank you to that which gave me life. Thank you to the light that made the world, the source that we all come from and all return to. Thank you for the sun, for rising this morning. Be grateful for this breath. Remember what you have already been given, because a man who recognizes that he has been given the greatest gift, which is breath and life, realizes that he's not a victim, realizes that his cup is already full, and that from this place he can give from the overflow. From that place you can be a powerful light in the world, like the sun. From that place you can live your fullest potential. Now the first rule is, before you speak, take time to listen, make space, slow down if you want to be connected to God. Cultivate your own experience and your own relationship with the sky, with the heavens. Trust that inner voice and learn to listen to that above all else. That inner voice is the divine within you. Problem is, if you feel lost, you might be stuck listening to the voices all around you, the loud voices and opinions all around you. And if you're being led by those external voices instead of the inner voice within you, you might need to examine that and make a change. So religion is one pathway to God. Indigenous traditions is another pathway to God. I've been to many churches and religious temples, and I've also sat in many ceremonies, from ayahuasca, Sophia, San Pedro, peyote. I've also supported Sundance, and I've sat in Inipi and Temescal ceremonies, which are sweat lodges. And a ceremony that I'm also very involved in is called a wilderness rite of passage. You may have heard it as a vision quest, where you fast alone in the wilderness for 4 days and 4 nights to mark the transition from one stage of life to the next. So if you're interested in learning more about this, you can reach out to me on Instagram. But if I could recommend one thing for you, cultivate your personal experience and connection with God, and do it in a way that feels true for you. Do it in a way where you feel whole and complete, independent of any external source, not dependent on someone else's interpretation of God, not dependent on any substance to feel closer. There's a time and place for these things, but ultimately you must be able to have that connection on your own. So say thank you, give offerings, give yourself, offer your heart, offer your life. And if you truly do that, you will find a great power and source of energy. Now, here's what most guys don't understand. You cannot experience your greatest power without offering yourself fully, because that power only comes through you when you become what indigenous teachers refer to as the hollow bone. If you have a will, if you're still trying to be the one in control, we're going to have a limited access to your spiritual power. And I'm learning this all over again in my life, that I have to be willing to give up everything again and again to follow that greatest calling if I want to be a vessel for God's love. The second key, I am a man of purpose. Your purpose is what you receive from the heavens. It is your instruction. Your purpose is as much of a part of you as the need to breathe. Your purpose is more than your plan. It is the plan that is here for you. It is your destiny and your fate. Your life is not just about trying to manifest the things that you think you want. It is your destiny and your fate. Your life is not just about trying to manifest the things that you want. It's about surrendering to the role that you're meant to take on in your life. You have to understand that there is a bigger plan that you cannot see in life, that you have to find faith in. The question is, are you willing to give your life to something bigger than yourself? Here's a misconception. Your purpose is your career. The truth is, purpose is more than just how you make money. Capitalism thinks that following your purpose means making money doing something. Now, you can make lots of money by living your purpose, and money is an essential resource that you can leverage as you live your purpose. But it's not just about money. It's not about you. Your career is part of the path to live your purpose because you must take care of yourself first. Part of my purpose is to provide for my family, to be able to protect them and to offer them safety. But purpose is something more than your family, more than your job, or any of the hats you wear. Purpose is who you are here to become. Your purpose is that voice inside of you calling you to become who you were born to be. This is not something that reveals itself overnight. You have to walk your path. You have to listen and take leaps of faith. You have to be attuned to your senses, your mind, your heart, your gut, which is why you're not going to be able to fully live your purpose if you are coping with substances. If you are drinking, smoking, taking drugs, your senses are going to be dulled. You won't be fully present. And that moment is where purpose reveals itself to those who pay attention. You have to be attuned to your senses, your mind, your heart. You will not be fully present, and the present moment is where purpose reveals itself to those who pay attention. Every man has a purpose. Every man has medicine, a gift inside of him. If you choose to go out someday for us if you are drinking, smoking, taking substances, your senses will be dulled. It will not be fully present. The present moment is where purpose reveals itself to those who pay attention. Every man has a purpose. Every man has medicine, a gift inside of him. If you choose to go out someday with us for a rite of passage, for a vision fast, we'll come back with a vision. You'll receive a vision, guidance, instructions on who you are here to become. That vision is a gift. The mistake people make is thinking the vision is for them. This is wrong. You come back with a gift to give. The gift is who you are here to become, and it's not for you. It's for your people. In the modern world, we have become extremely individualized, but really we are tribal people. We need a tribe. We need to belong to something, because without that, we don't have anyone to give our gifts to. Here's the third key. I am in the best health of my life. Without your health, you have nothing. Build yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Make yourself the most usable. This represents your commitment to following God, to following a life of purpose and power as a man. You can tap into your power by developing yourself in these 4 areas, and I have a whole video on this that I'll link to in the description. But make yourself strong mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Make yourself a force of nature. This is part of your journey where you have to become the warrior and learn how to wield your power. But to become the warrior, you have to realize there is no enemy outside of you. The real battle takes place within you. The difference between being a boy and a man is that the boy is dependent on the tribe, where the man protects, leads, and takes care of the tribe. Take good care of yourself, because you have to know how to take care of yourself to take care of others. You're gonna hear me say this again, but this is what this stage of young adulthood is about for us as men. Learning how to take care of yourself and give yourself what you need so that you can eventually have a great capacity to be able to take care of others. I become more and more capable of that responsibility the more I focus on taking care of myself, the more I focus on building these 7 keys in my kingdom. Now, a lot of men get stuck here. On the path of taking care of themselves, they become obsessed with their self-image and aesthetics. I want you to be confident and proud of yourself. Take good care of how you look. That's all important too. But don't become vain and obsessed with your self-image. Again, that's making it about you. That's what a boy does, not a man. You want to grow your social media or do a bodybuilding competition, that's cool. Badass. But look around and ask yourself, how many of these people are thinking more about themselves or about the people around them? Be the man who takes such good care of himself that he has energy to give to others from the overflow. And I keep talking about giving and being of service as men because it is the essence of masculinity. Masculinity wants to give. Masculinity finds the deepest pleasure and fulfillment from penetrating the world with his love. Femininity finds the deepest pleasure from fully surrendering, learning to trust, and feel safe enough to receive love. And again, we are both masculine and feminine, but as men, we have to be in touch with this masculine core. And just know you have just as big of an ego if you're trying to avoid that self-image. And this was me. There's a part of me that would rather be the guy who's just the real deal, who doesn't have to talk about it. But there's just as much ego in that. There's just as much ego in being that as being the self-absorbed influencer, because we're still caring about what people think instead of being fully present. So having a healthy ego is important. important, but it's also something to keep in mind and be aware of. The fourth key, I am a loving, committed partner. Let's talk about love, women, dating, sex. As a teacher, I thought I was really good with girls. I had relationships early on. I was the first of my guy friends to have sex. I knew how to create emotional connection. I liked the validation of having a beautiful partner. But I was toxic. I said shitty things to my partner. I was physically aggressive at times. I didn't know how to treat a woman right. And I held a lot of shame for not being the man I wanted to be in relationships. And this is something that I've had to do a lot of work on because I knew I was capable of being better than that. And I knew we both deserved it. So I took a long time for myself. I took time to be celibate. And even after that, I had a lot of boundaries when it came to intimate relationships with women because my priority was focusing on myself. And I needed years of that time to myself. When I tried to get back into dating, I basically forgot how to connect with women. I was super awkward. I remember going up to a girl at a coffee shop and awkwardly stumbling on my words. My face was trembling. And I sat down afterwards and I was like, fuck, that was so humbling. And I felt like a loser, but I needed that moment. I have come a long way since then, learning how to have healthy relationships, how to communicate authentically, how to own what I desire, how to take rejection, how to attract amazing partners, how to have amazing sex. And here's what I'll share with you. Be committed to your future partner already. If you haven't met her yet, the queen of your kingdom already exists, but you're not going to meet her if you don't become the right match. Like attracts like. You need to be the high value partner that you are looking for. You can't expect to attract a woman who takes care of her health if you're not doing the same. So you have to have do a very honest self-assessment of yourself to see if you are meeting the standard of the level of a partner that you actually want. So what does it mean to be committed to your future partner? Prepare yourself. Make yourself the absolute best version of yourself so that you can give that version of yourself to her. I want you to know, if you know you want this to be part of your kingdom, if you know you want a woman to be a part of your kingdom, here's what you need to know. Your relationship will be the biggest challenge of your life. Your partner of your dreams will test you more than anything, but she will strengthen you more than anyone. So pick a partner that won't accept a lesser version of you and then bear the responsibility that you chose that. And it's your duty to give your relationship your best and protect it. I believe choosing your partner is the biggest decision you can make because this doesn't just affect your life. It affects who your kids are and who they have as a mother. It affects your career and your finances because, the right partner might help you 10 or 100x your life in your purpose and career. The wrong partner might just keep you stuck, and it's not their fault. It affects the environment that you come home to, right? Your career is a big decision, but you can change jobs without too much consequence. You pick the wrong partner and you've likely now signed away half of your wealth and anything you accumulate. So don't rush into this, y'all. We can fall into this, making decisions with our dicks and making decisions alone without feedback from other men in our lives who can call us out and show us our blind spots. And this was me. But regardless of what you choose in your life, you are 100% responsible for your entire life experience. You can always tell what a man wants because it's what he's doing. You were always choosing. You could always have chosen differently. So your life decisions rest on your shoulders, and it's your opportunity to find strength and find your way through, no matter how tough it is. Something I've learned is about long-term committed relationships versus short-term non-committed relationships. Short-term is where you learn to prepare for the long-term relationships. I was in a long-term relationship for 2 years with a woman who has kids, and I thought she was the one. We had a beautiful, amazing relationship, but we also had a lot of incompatibility, and ultimately our lives didn't align. And I had to make that extremely painful and hard decision. In my experience, nothing is more beautiful than a long-term committed relationship. But short-term relationships can also have so much beauty and are essential in our growth. And the key to being in a short-term relationship is to be clear and communicate what you are available for and what you are not available for. If you're not available for a long-term relationship, you need to be upfront and transparent about that and tell them what you are open to exploring with them while also communicating what you're not. The last thing regarding love, if you look at these 7 keys, similar to the 7 chakras, which are the energy centers in the body in Buddhist and Hindu traditions, the heart is at the center. Your heart is the center of heaven and earth. The Taoist masters say that as humans, one of our roles is harmonizing heaven and earth, being the bridge between these two worlds, two polarities, again, which I look at as the masculine and the feminine, and finding that harmony. Power of love through intimate relationship, especially long-term committed partnership, comes from understanding that a committed relationship is sacred union. What I mean by that is through coming together and uniting in partnership, there is a connection to God. The love you share with this person will help open your heart. And a man with an open heart is a powerful force because fear doesn't stand a chance against an open heart because it comes with courage. The word courage starts with cur, which means heart in French, corazón in Spanish. This is the center, the core of who you are. Relationship is sacred. It is a sacred mirror that will show you the most beautiful parts of yourself, and it will also show you the most wounded parts of yourself that need the most work. Embrace both. Relationship is sacred. You want to become skilled in relationship. You need to understand that this is the journey of learning to understand your heart. The better you know yourself, love yourself, are intimate with yourself, you'll be able to offer that and more in your relationship. Key number 5, I am a family man. A strong marriage and a healthy family is at the heart of any thriving kingdom. Prioritizing family is recognizing your opportunity to lead as a man in this domain. I don't have a family of my own yet, but I still choose to prioritize my family. I am a son, I am a brother, I'm a grandson, I'm a nephew. These relationships matter, and I'm also building my kingdom from the inside out. These provide me a clear structure on what I want to build. So you need to know the border of your kingdom. Where does it begin? Where does it end? If I don't know that, how am I going to protect it? If you don't have kids, but you know you want them, they already exist in spirit. Part of their essence is already with you. How would that inform your decisions? How would you act? How would you drive? How would you take care of your home or your health? How would you speak? Or who would you allow into your environment if you made decisions as if your kids are already with you? Because their essence is already with you right now. And whether it is through nature or nurture, your kids are going to inherit part of your own nervous system. After my separation with my partner, although we weren't married, it felt a lot like going through a divorce. My inner child felt very alone, and it brought up a lot of wounds for me from when I was 4 years old and my parents split up. And then I spent the rest of my upbringing going back and forth between two houses, but never feeling like either one was really my home. I had a lot of healing to do. But I remembered how my dad raised me even during the divorce, and I asked myself, how can I father myself right now? I would be solid for them. I would take care of them. I'd make sure that they had a roof over their heads, that they felt safe and loved, even during a really hard time. I'd cook good food for them. I'd go to work to make sure that we were financially in a good place. Family is the greatest motivation, and my younger siblings have been that for me. Without thinking about our children or our loved ones, without considering the generations that come after us, again, we lose touch with such a great power. Power of love, the power of care, the power of recognizing that we have a responsibility and an opportunity to leave the world better than we found it. It is said that we do not inherit the world from our ancestors, we borrow it from our grandchildren. The things that we do today will impact them. So can you live your life like many Native Americans speak of? Live in a way that will positively impact the next 7 generations. And can you care for your family and extend that same love you'd have for your own children out to all children around the world? And that's a perfect segue for the 6th key. I'm a leader in community. Our community is the extended family. It is our friends and our loved ones around us. The kingdom is made up of many people, and again, it's in service to them. A kingdom that prospers supports everyone inside of it. A healthy marriage, a healthy family, a healthy leader connected to his purpose, to God, to nature, creates a fertile land where so much abundance can be shared. Community is about connection. Community is something we are filled up by and something that we can be of service to. It's about finding ways we can give back in many little positive ways. We need our elders, it is said, and in community, we need our elders. It is said that it takes a village to raise a child. The nuclear family is not enough to raise a man or a woman. We need to learn from our uncles and aunts and friends and their families. We need to be exposed to different thoughts and different ways of life to know ourselves better and to grow into healthy adults. And we need our elders because there is a passing of the torch that happens. There's wisdom, love, and connection stories that need to be passed from the elder generation to the younger generation. I've learned a lot from my grandparents and elders, some from what they've told me, but so much simply from who they are. Community is essential. Girls need the women in their community to support them in becoming the women they are here to be. Boys need the men in their community to support them in becoming the men they are here to be. Men, women, people need to be around each other to support each other because life's not easy. We are tribal and social beings. We are made to share life with others. The last key, I am a man connected to nature. Nature is the feminine essence of God, the earth and water that complements the air and the fire. It is the great womb, the darkness and emptiness of the universe that is also divine. She is the moon, she is the earth, she is the goddess. And I say this because I think we need to connect with God and Goddess. I don't think that they are separate, but I think that modern culture has forgotten how important our mother is, Mother Earth. And it is evident by looking at the way that we manufacture and produce material items, how much plastic we put into our oceans, how many trees we cut down. Regardless of what we do, Mother Earth is going to be okay, but the question is, will we be okay if we don't make these changes? We need her. We need to take good care of her because her health is our health. And I highly recommend you watch Princess Mononoke or the Avatar movies to go sit in indigenous ceremonies because they carry this essence, this understanding that nature is sacred. Spend time in nature, connect with her, speak to her, listen to her. For me, one of my visions is owning a home, stewarding land, creating a retreat center and a sanctuary. And I don't just want to buy a house or be the owner of a piece of property. For me, it's about having a place on earth that is yours, but less that it belongs to you, more that you belong to it. And being able to experience home in that way and create a place that feels like home for my family, but also for everyone who spends time with us there. I've traveled to 6 continents and I found a sense of home in the land on every continent. So how can I share that with others? So as I wrap this video, I want to go a little deeper. There are 7 keys and they're all connected to each other, but specifically it's a mirror, as above, so below. And it's also a spiral. God and nature are the yin and yang. Community and purpose go hand in hand because how else would we find that purpose but through our community? Health and family are at the very closest to us in how we take care of ourselves and those closest to our hearts. And love, intimacy, partnership, sacred union is at the heart. Remember that sacred union is more than just the relationship with a partner. Sacred union is something that exists within you. I play a masculine role in the world, but we all need to find the healthy marriage within ourselves, between the different sides of us. If you are at war with yourself, if you have a toxic relationship with yourself, how are you going to have a healthy relationship externally? And without that healthy relationship with yourself and with your partner, how will you build your kingdom? There is heaven, there is earth. And we as humans, we walk vertically on 2 legs. We are the only mammal like this. We have the opportunity to bring the beauty of heaven to earth, and just maybe bring the beauty of earth to the heavens. We have the opportunity to imagine, to create ideas, and then to birth them, bring them into reality, to spark a flame and then fan the flames into a fire that can bring warmth to many. Plant seeds to water them into existence and see the fruits of our labor. I hope this has planted some seeds within you, or quite likely watered seeds that were already planted a long time ago. So hit like and subscribe if this was valuable. Send this to a friend. Comment below your reflections. These things help share this with others in a good way, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I highly recommend you watch this next video. See y'all soon.